is no higher calling. Your sister understood something about that.
I should have come back for you.
No. That's just a fairy tale.
I was in high school when the Avengers came. Kind of strange that it's all over now. No one's coming to save the day.
I think we are. We can be the ones that are coming.
But you have the wrong people. We have all done bad things.
Look, I've been where you are. The past doesn't go away. So you can either live with it forever, or you can do something about it.
I am a void. Look what you unleashed. You can't outrun the emptiness.
We can't do this. No one here is a hero.
We all have things that we regret.
But I have so many.
Lena, when I look at you, I don't see your mistakes. That's why we need each other.
We can't stop him alone. No one can. But we can find a way. Together.
Marvel Studios Thunderbolts.
Under pressure.
What is going on, you guys? So what you just saw or heard, excuse me, is the Thunderbolts trailer. Now, this is Marvel's new movie, and this came out this weekend, y'all. And let me tell you, it's a really good one. It's really solid. I had a really great time with Thunderbolts. But if you're new, welcome in. My name's Leo Rydell. Here on the Geekly Goods Roundup, we come together every single Sunday to talk the latest movie news. And tonight we've got a great slate on tap, you guys. I mean, there is so much to talk about. We've got Thunderbolts. A24 just dropped a trailer for its upcoming movie, The Smashing Machine, which will see Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson get into a much more serious role. So I am definitely looking forward to that as well. And we also will be talking a little bit more about Sinners and some box office news, you guys. But without further ado, I'm going to pull in my co-host and we're going to start chopping it up about some movies, y'all. What's going on, Eli? How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you? It's a fun Sunday night.
It's a fun Sunday night. Oh my goodness, the movies are thriving right now. I mean, and honestly, aside from Thunderbolts, to have Thunderbolts doing pretty decent in this box office opening, and Sinners, Sinners, man, whew, that is
delicious
with hot grease.
Honestly, that's still, I've had a great week. Thank you so much. And I've spent my entire weekend at the movies. Actually, I saw Sinners again, to like another like weekend of sold out theaters. It was a pain in the ass for me to find a theater to go see Sinners in, which is amazing. But oh my God, I was like, I wanted to see it at the nice, dine-in theater, and it was packed. And I had to go to a different theater and it was still packed, but at least I was able to, squeeze something in. But wow, what a picture, first of all. Second of all, I also was able to catch Thunderbolts, which I was driving home to log on to stream right now. I just got out of that not too long ago. And definitely, so, the people are going to the movies. I haven't seen the theaters this packed since like last year, probably. Like this is a you could tell, at least for me, like here locally, you could tell that summer's coming and people are really, really going to the movie theater.
Yeah, people are ready. The summer movie season is right around the corner. But let me ask you, do you feel like it started off like weirdly slow this year? Like
for sure.
About March or April, we usually have, I guess Minecraft is that movie.
Probably. And I mean, and I was able to catch, I think I talked about it last stream. I was able to catch Minecraft a lot later, and things were still pretty busy for that one. I think what I guess Warner Brothers expected Mickey 17 to be was Minecraft, unfortunately. But yeah, has been quite a slow year, and it is so crazy because remember when they switched the Mickey 17 and Sinners debut like release dates? Sinners was supposed to come out earlier, and you know what? I think the best thing they did was push it, because this was, I think, perfect timing to really kick off this summer blockbuster season with a phenomenal like original movie.
Yes. I think it's a really great start to the summer box office season so far. And we're going to just dive right into it, Ely. We're just going to get into the news. Starting off, guys, we got to take a pulse of the box office here with our box office pulse. This is our first segment where we talk all things box office, you guys. And this week, we've got some interesting stories outside of the top 5 to talk about, but we're going to get to those top 3 first. Starting off with Thunderbolts, which opens to 76 million, which is around Black Widow numbers. But I want to give you guys a little bit of a heads up with this one. So yes, the budget is probably way too high on this film, because this is definitely more of an, I wouldn't say completely indie, but a less mainstream with the characters, with the team, with the cast. It's a little bit less on the big radar than a lot of Marvel releases. So I think I'm not going to quite say this is like exactly what they wanted, but I think it's okay. It's a decent opening. There's a couple of weeks before Lilo and Stitch and Mission Impossible absolutely blow the box office off the doors. And then we also have Sinners number 2 with 33 million. This is all domestic, by the way, you guys. And a Minecraft movie at number 3 with 13 million. But there was one more story I wanted to talk about, Ely. That is the fact that through these past few weeks, the Star Wars Revenge of the Sith returned to theaters. It actually has collectively, from this theatrical run, it now has a total of 900 million at the box office.
Jesus H. Christ.
Crazy. I mean, it's what's crazy about, even crazier is it's like, that's like number 6 in like the Star Wars movie lineups. But out of the prequel era, I think that's like one of the highest. That's awesome.
That's insane. That's insane to me. Re-releasing solidly 20-year-old movie and just getting a cool almost $1 billion. They're gonna hit that 1 billion for sure, just off of a re-release. I mean, we touched on this last week. Like, again, Too Long Didn't Read. People have great nostalgia for kind of old school Star Wars. And guess what? I bet you in 20 years, people are going to go back to theaters for that re-release of the new trilogy. It's all cyclical.
It's all going to come back around, but we got a couple people in the chat. We got Be Positive hanging out. Tough Luck and Be Positive are going back and forth, but Tough Luck says movies are thriving for now. But the orange face jerk is threatening 100% tariff on movies that shoot overseas. Yo, this just came. Did you see this?
I hadn't seen this, but what a hell of a way to find out. What the hell?
So, yeah, apparently Trump claims he is placing a 100% tariff on all films produced outside of America that are brought into the country. Well, Avengers Doomsday is fucked. I mean, I'm like, okay, this is a baffling statement.
Does anybody like who's gonna tell them that a lot of like it's not even like cable television is filmed mostly in Canada, cabrón? Like, wow. Well, we'll see how that works out for Disney.
Yeah, that is definitely probably not gonna be a thing, y'all. This guy being a goofball. Just crazy insane statement that happened literally right before we started the stream. Anyway, back to box office. What do you think about 76 million for Thunderbolts, Ely? And real quick, I actually had it on Box Office Pro. It was like comparing some of the others.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so on Box Office Pro, it compared it to the opening of Black Widow, which was 80.36. Ant-Man and the Wasp, interestingly enough, back before the pandemic, did 75.8 in its opening weekend.
Yeah.
Then Shang-Chi is around there, 75. Eternals. What do we think about that?
Interesting benchmarks too. I think what is most interesting about these benchmarks is the fact that Black Widow also released like still during the pandemic. Like this was one of the first. This was summer of 2021, I remember, and
Yeah.
I was still wearing my face mask. People were still like very apprehensive of going to the movie theaters, or back to the
Yeah.
movie theaters. Mejor dicho, and it still made more. But at the same time, this is right off the cusp of Endgame. Endgame was, 2 years prior. People were still really excited about revisiting these original Avengers characters. So considering that in its favor back then, despite the pandemic release, Thunderbolts, I think this is honestly probably the best they could have hoped for a movie that people weren't really that interested in as a whole up until like just now word of mouth. Like this is a movie that tried really 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 hard through its marketing to convince people, and at the end of the day it's a roster of relatively unpopular characters, and not unpopular as in people hate them. It's just people don't really know them that well, you
Yeah.
know? It's definitely a big risk for Marvel, and I think it's gonna play out for them.
Yeah, it ended up getting an A- on CinemaScore. Not the best, but like
Mhm.
not necessarily in the company of some of the recent releases. Captain America
Right.
had a B-. So it's just there's a story we're
Mhm.
going to talk about a little later where it's kind of this Washington Street Journal article came out and it really rehashed what's going on with like the overhaul.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that a little later. But I think, yeah, you're right. Thunderbolts is a slight bit of a turning point for Marvel
For sure.
Studios, where we're gonna see it pivot back to these movies feeling more individual yet still connected, which is how
Yeah.
we felt in the first phase, in the second, third phases. Things felt connected, but also separate. And
Yeah.
that's where they're gonna
It still felt
return
like a
to.
movie.
Yeah. We've got Tough Luck saying he's agreeing with you. Expected 75 million for
Mhm.
Thunderbolts and 76 is just a bit up my target. Yeah, I think it could have legs. I mean, it's got a couple weeks to breathe. Nothing between it and Lilo and Stitch.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't be sleeping on Sinners because Sinners is coming back to IMAX screens in 2 weeks. Hello. And
Yo,
Sinners has had
Sinners is
a
gonna do
really,
well.
really great box office run, and people have been
Mhm.
demanding it return to IMAX screens at the fault of Miss Thunderbolts here. So I wouldn't sleep on it. I'm not saying it's going to overtake the number one spot anytime soon, but I wouldn't sleep on the legs Sinners has as a movie because I definitely enjoyed it a lot more than I enjoyed Thunderbolts, but that's just because I love it so much. Like to me, Sinners is like a
Yeah.
5-star movie. Like it's such a beautiful original movie, and then Thunderbolts it's just Marvel at the end of the day. This is
What you
two
think about
different lanes.
Thunderbolts? What you think
It
about
was that.
Thunderbolts?
It was alright.
Alright. Just
It's alright. It's just alright. I don't know. I do know. The first two acts, I was like, this is fine. But the third act, I really, really dug. I have to say, and I think we were just interacting on Twitter earlier. I really wish we would have dug more into that third act. I don't want to spoil it because we're still opening weekend here.
Yeah.
But that third act was some of the most interesting stuff I've seen in Marvel since WandaVision. It was
was great.
giving WandaVision vibes in the sense that we're really digging into the psyche of these characters, which I wish we would have had more time to do. That's really my biggest take on the movie. I wish that we could have dug into the characters more in that way, so that way the emotional beats would have paid off more for me personally. But I love what it's trying to say. What it's trying to say is so real. It is very raw. And I just wish we could have sat with it a little bit more.
Yeah, I understand that. I think I felt that way about like the first act. I was just like, "Ooh, I want to." So
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you
it
the
takes a
exact
bit.
marker. The exact marker in the movie for me where I was like, "Okay, we're in this," is when David Harbour pulls up in the taxi. That's when I'm like, "Okay,
Yeah,
hold
it takes
on."
us a
Like,
while to get there, though, Leo. Like
it's a minute.
it really surprised me because I was like, oh yeah, what we see in the trailer is probably just gonna be like the first 15 minutes of the movie. It was damn near the whole half. First half of the movie was that little bit in the trailer. I'm like, oh, okay. This is not
It's
what I
about a
expected
half
at all.
hour, about 40,
It
half hour,
felt
45.
eternal. It felt eternal. I did think for a second there, that they were gonna do like the logo reveal when they're going up the elevator because they were in the
Yes.
formation as the logo. I was like, oh, this is gonna be like one of those cool 30-minute cold opens, you know? Like then things are gonna kick off. And then I was like, okay, whatever. That's just me. This is me trying to be stylistic here.
Speaking of cold opens, did you see Thunderbolts in IMAX?
I did actually. I
You
really
saw
did.
that
And
Fantastic Four opening? Did you see that?
yes, I did.
That was fire, man.
I really, really enjoyed it. It actually, you know what was so surprising to me was, and again, I'm a broken record about Michael Giacchino, dude. Like, I love the score more than the movie itself. Like, I think I'm more excited to hear the movie than to actually watch it. Even though
What?
I'm very excited about the movie, but the score feels like so emotional and it's so
Oh, the
beautiful.
score.
And when I heard it. Oh my God. I heard it and I was like, oh my God, like I haven't felt this way about Marvel in a hot minute. Like a Marvel score that really just makes you feel like a little kid again. Like that's what that score is really, really bringing out of me. So I think that was so beautiful. It was really good and, you know, definitely fitting for that post-end credit scene that we see at the end of Thunderbolts. But I'm sure we'll dig into that once we can talk about spoilers a couple weeks from now.
Yeah, Thunderbolts. I think Thunderbolts. I was like hovering between like an 8 and 9. Like I was kind of like, okay, not an 8. Not an 8.5 because I feel a little bit more. There's just one scene in the movie that two in the movie that absolutely moved me to tears.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I
yeah.
don't remember feeling this moved by a Marvel movie in a little while. Since Wakanda Forever. That was the last time I was just like, ooh, wow. And that
very
those two scenes had me like, wow. So I couldn't give it as low as an 8.5. Couldn't give it as high as a 9, so I'm like an 8.7 or something. But I really, really like Thunderbolts. I think what does it for me with Thunderbolts is that first off, that bluish tint makes sense after the movie. After we explore the movie, I'm like, oh, okay, that's why it's got the kind of doom and gloom drab look. I thought that was such a creative choice, and I love when Marvel can creatively paint its cinematography in a way that feels natural. Sorry, Love and Thunder. I do like Love and Thunder more than most people, but I gotta say, Love and Thunder's got that kind of, hey, we're standing in front of the green screen. You know what I mean?
Very CGI. I mean,
keyed out background look.
And you can tell it's not that everything was shot on location, but a lot of things were actually shot and like at least it feels like it was shot on location and natural lighting.
Yes,
like this is the most real Marvel has looked since Eternals. I'm not gonna lie, guys.
Practical. Yes,
it's very practical, and I think it fits. It definitely fits. I think again, for me, the weakest part of this one is just that script. I feel like that story could have really leaned more into what it was trying to say, and we could have gotten there by getting a little bit more dialogue, a little bit more chemistry between the characters in the beginning rather than just kind of, these quips. I feel like sometimes it was trying a little bit too hard with like the little comedic quips that they were kind of spewing there. But, if you get past that, it's serviceable. It is a very serviceable movie.
This movie made me think John Walker's okay. So
I still don't like him. I find him so unlikable. I find him so unlikable. I think that's what really ruined it.
I think with The Void, I was like, I understand, bro. I understand. And then there's like a quick drop about a little bit more about the past. I'm not gonna spoil y'all.
We needed more of that to really get me like on board with redeeming him as a character. Because the rest of them, I think, was just fine. I think Red Guardian was definitely like, the thing is that Yelena and Red Guardian, Alexei, they were fantastic and they carried this movie, but they also had the benefit of having Black Widow, under their belt. So we already had a dynamic set up between them. So that emotional
character here.
Exactly.
Poor thing. I'm just going, we listen, I'm not going to spoil, but woo! Wow. That's all I got to say about that character.
Good Lord. But yeah, I think that they had that advantage as characters to really feel fully fleshed out. But John Walker, man, you gotta, they kept true to him being like this asshole type character, but you really stuck to your guns for a long time there for me to really be on board. And like, I think at the end I was like, I guess I'll tolerate him, I suppose. But I think he's just, at the end of the day, he's just kind of a jock bully.
You and Ghost feel the exact same way, I'm sure.
Yeah,
she was like not a fan of him either.
Yeah, no,
by the way,
I liked her.
I liked Ghost. I definitely like Ghost. I'll just say that. But I really thought all of these characters in this iteration, including Val, for me, were the best form of these characters. I thought
this is the
Elena
best
had the
Val's
most to
ever
work with.
been.
Best Val's ever been. I was like, where has this Val been the whole time? Because in my opinion,
she felt real.
She
She felt
like
like a
her
real
Veep
person.
character. Yeah, she felt like her character from Veep. I was like,
She
yo,
did, 100%.
this is who Val is. She's scheming, she's conniving, she's using these people. That's what I wanted to see.
For sure.
And I was like, yo, we've been tucking that down, but y'all, we're getting on a whole tangent.
Yeah.
Let's continue on, Eli. We got to talk about A24's The Smashing Machine. Just had a trailer released. And I'm going to be honest, The Rock just looks so weird with hair.
I know.
Sorry, he looks weird with hair.
Is it just me? Am I insane? Is the hair making me like hallucinate that he has prosthetics on, or am I going insane? Like his face looks different and everything. Is it just the hair?
It does. I don't know. I have no idea. Are you down to watch this real quick?
Sure. I already saw the trailer, but it was interesting. It definitely. I also go put it on. But and we'll chit chat. But I don't know. As a fan of the Iron Claw, I'm really liking these A24 little wrestling biopics here.
Have you ever heard of the Ultimate Fighting Championship, the UFC?
That's the bloody thing they're trying to ban.
This guy is the best he has ever seen.
Do you hate each other when you fight?
Absolutely not.
How do you know Mark Kerr?
Look, we go way back, but he's a buddy of mine.
Come on, baby. Too much?
Never.
Too much?
No.
Please welcome in his Octagon debut, Mark Kerr!
Winning is the best feeling.
Emily Blunt.
It's 40,000 people.
She's just playing her SNL character.
There's no other
For real.
like it in the world. No contract, no money?
No money.
Do you have any stronger pain medication?
Advil?
Advil?
Yeah.
Don, would you like
No.
They're handing them out like candy. Let's all get in. Everybody get in. Get Don, can you take this picture for us?
Yeah.
What are you thinking at the beginning of the fight?
It's simple. Am I going to hurt him before he hurts me?
Yes,
This don't look too bad. I'm vibing.
I'm into it. I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker for these like Florida Project looking ass A24 movies, you know?
Yeah, man.
Come back from the break.
And I really love The Last Showgirl. And this is giving Iron Claw Last Showgirl, you know.
about fighting such a good friend for a life-changing amount of money?
I just need you to let me in.
Always about you. Only about fighting you.
Uh-oh.
Let's fucking go.
Hang on now. This is a pretty good job. Is this supposed to be The Rock?
Yeah.
Is that The Rock? Oh. Love
Yeah,
that.
I think
Look,
it's going to be
want your autograph?
Sure, no
emotionally
problem.
devastating.
No fighting.
Wait, hold on. Is that somebody playing The Rock?
I don't know. It's
Tyler,
a moment.
is this The Rock right here?
Oh my God.
He would know. I'm like, is this The Rock, bruh?
No, I have no
I don't
knowledge
think
of
so.
UFC culture and history. But I will
Yeah.
eat up a biopic.
Yo, I'm down. Nah, that ain't him. He's not a UFC fighter.
No.
But yeah, y'all, I'm crying a little bit because that was so funny. That looks good. That looks good, Eli. I think that looks it looks like it
And
could
Benny
be.
Safdie, you know?
Yep. I mean, we're in the trusty hands of Safdie brother, and The Rock has had, a few opportunities. I feel like Pain and Gain was decent. He's had some time to hone in on some real acting chops, and I think this could be it for him. Now, I will say, y'all, some shots the wig look a little goofy. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
the wig look a little funny.
The piece is piecing,
Imagine how insufferable he will be if he wins an Oscar.
I don't think it's gonna come down to that. Maybe something like a like a little nom for a Golden Globe here and there, but I don't think this is gonna be that insane. I think this is gonna be. I mean, then again, look at it this way: the Iron Claw was 100% snubbed and completely ignored from awards season. I think the Iron Claw was one of the best movies of 2023. So,
oh my god,
my expectations are met. Absolutely emotionally devastating, beautifully shot, just beautiful 5-star movie, 100%. So that's why mainly I'm like, this could also be something really, really, really good.
Yeah, if this can be on par with something like that,
for sure.
Okay, then maybe we need to talk about some Oscar talk. Like if it's on that level, where it's how Zac Efron was in that role. Listen, man. Okay, then I'm definitely down to have a conversation.
The Academy hierarchy is forever gonna change.
You underestimate the marketing.
Yeah, he's crazy. I mean, honestly, girl, no, I think this is oh my god, who's this other guy? Oh my god, not Tom Cruise. Dwayne Johnson has like the insane marketing chops of. Oh my god, I had the name. It'll come back to me. I bet you at the end of the stream it'll come back to me.
You know, character name? A role he's
No, I think no, it's like Dwayne Johnson has the riz to make it through award season, even though like something like Iron Claw, which is very similar in tone and in genre, got completely snubbed. And I was going to compare him to someone and I completely forgot, but it's fine. It's okay.
Zac Efron. Do you think it's potentially the release date of Iron Claw? It just kind of came out too late, I think.
It got a Christmas release date, but then again, it also came out around the same time that there was another movie that actually got some buzz that year. It's not coming to me either now. My brain's not serving me at the moment, but maybe it did. Maybe it came out too late for audiences to really take notice. But I know people really enjoyed it. Like,
and I say this,
it was well rated.
Yeah, it was. And I say this in Past Live had several nominations. I mean, it had Best Picture and it came out in like March. So
yeah,
people didn't forget. People don't forget good movies. I don't know what happened with that. What a flub.
A24, I think, just funneled their marketing for some other movie that I just did not care all that much for. But A24 is kind of weird like that.
Legend of Ochi.
I haven't seen it. I don't want to hate on it. I don't want to hate on it just yet. I haven't seen it. But I know it's I'm not a fan of Finn Wolfhard.
Yeah, he's kind of a brick wall. So my thing about A24 lately, that was a good one, huh?
Just get
He's like this.
You couldn't have described him better. Yeah, he's just a unit. Just like this world's skinniest little unit.
But I will say this about A24, and with the Legend of Ochi not being in the top 5, they're striking out on their little mainstream phase. They're striking out.
You gotta stick to the good movies.
Stick to the good stuff. Because this Unicorns movie, Death of the Unicorn, this one flopping. Like A24, get back to what y'all doing.
Opus was so poorly marketed, if it was marketed at all, and Opus was very good. I really enjoyed Opus, but again,
I still gotta watch that.
I love Ayo Edebiri in it, and I love John Malkovich. I think they are phenomenal, and it's kind of like this glitzy, glamorous. At the end of the day, Silence of the Lambs moment. A little bit. I liked it. I don't know. I really, really liked it a lot. I thought it was so fun, and what it said, like its message, was really interesting. And it honestly left me thinking for a hot minute. But yeah, having A24 releasing like 3 movies back to back, and just having, I think the one that was most successful was Warfare, and I didn't care much for Warfare at all.
What? Oh man, I still gotta watch that one. I got so much
heavy.
catching up to
It's
do.
so well done. Don't get me. It's masterfully crafted, but wow, it's so heavy, and it just left me confused. I was like, what are you? You know, at the end of the day, trying to be politically neutral about an actual war movie is just a weird thing to do. You know,
It's
it
Alex
was just
Garland, though,
weird.
right?
It is Alex Garland, so it is, you know, very well made. It is very well
where he
written.
sits, though, in his movies. He kind of has like this, even with Men, where it was like, oh, it's such an overt message.
Exactly.
He kind of had like a almost like neutral, and I was like, well, what are we trying to say, sir?
Can we commit to something? Can we commit to a side? Like, if you want to say something, especially with a message, or not a message, but with a topic that is so controversial or so powerful, you know, you can't be timid about it. You really can. Then it's just gonna fall flat.
Like I do. Hear me out. The reason why I kind of like it is because as the viewer, I get to be the one to be like, hey,
for sure. But I don't know. I think that at least the thing with Warfare is that at the end, whether he intends it to be that or not, it still becomes like war like pro-war, like military propaganda. I don't think he intended it to be that, but he's still like, you know, let's stand for our troops. You know, that's kind of how it kind of wrapped up at the end. I was like, I don't know about all that. I think it's a little bit more complicated than that, Mr. Garland. But here we are.
I have to brace myself for that one then.
Yeah,
but y'all,
it's heavy.
Let's chat about Sinners real quick, because we were talking about it earlier and it having legs. Yeah, it's getting that IMAX re-release after high demand. It will be coming back for 1 weekend to IMAX theaters. And man, oh man, this is like, Sinners has been packed. So I've seen Sinners twice. The second time I saw it, it was the week after. So the week after release. And I'm like, you know, I'll wait and buy tickets later, whatever. Guys, I'm struggling to find tickets. And the screening's like Friday night at a 9 o'clock showing. Like, this is a 9 o'clock late night showing on a Friday.
Happened to me yesterday.
Man, I was struggling to find tickets. Struggling. You said it happened to you yesterday?
Yeah, it happened to me yesterday. I was struggling to find tickets at a couple of theaters. So I had to go to like a smaller theater to get tickets for like a 4 p.m. showtime. And even then it was like half full. And I don't know, it's so interesting to see like how excited people are to see this movie, and people are watching it over and over again. Like, it has such a good rewatchability like about it that I think this is kind of, you know, I think the last time I remember seeing something like this to this degree was kind of, even though the movies aren't comparable by any means, is Deadpool and Wolverine. Like, people rewatched that movie a whole bunch, and that's what helped it at the box office. And this is, you know, reaping the rewards.
Rewatchability, that's the name of the game. Like, people coming back, watching this over and over, and people are picking up on new things and new meanings, new symbolism. Like, it's just, what's great about Sinners is it does have that capacity to learn more on every rewatch. Like, you just pick up more things, more details, and then you dive into Easter egg videos and stuff like that. You can do that with this movie. And that's what's so brilliant about it, is that, like, yeah, even though probably the first hour of the movie, you know, we're settling into these characters, we don't get to none of the horror stuff and the imagery and the meanings of these vampires. We don't really get into that until the second half of the movie, but that's okay. People are like, hey, I'm coming back for that, for both halves, and I'm enjoying these characters because the characters are set up so well. Then you get into this lore with the vampires and stuff. It's a very cool, like, layered film where it really is like two halves to a whole, kind of like the twins.
Yes.
You know, it's like they very much symbolize like the two pieces of the movie here. Sorry, I love it. Dived way deeper than
but you know what? I was on that trip too, because like, even the first half of the movie, even though it's not necessarily the same, you know, tone as the last half, there's so much, like, it's just so much to dig into. There's so much foreshadowing that is very slick. It's very subtle. And then on the second watch, I was like, oh, Oh, okay. I see you, Ryan Coogler. You're really telling me, this whole movie, not only through little details like, through the twins, the detail of the rattlesnake in the truck, because that was them dancing with the devil. As soon as they get the truck had the stolen goods from the mob, it like all of these things to dig into, plus the lyrics of the songs that are used throughout the movie
So good.
tell the story and they enrich it so well. And that's why I'm really like, again, I have a friend who's been critiquing it a little bit because it is a little bit messy narratively at some points, and I get that, I understand that, but to me it doesn't bother me because despite, I guess, one or two little things that might seem like plot holes, it really does its best to tie everything at the end. And it's like, you know what? We're gonna make this make sense, and there are certain cues that aren't explicit that do explain the why and the how of certain characters' decisions. Because some people think, the whole that it's getting into like a whole spoiler discussion, but like, why would Grace be the one to, kind of doom everybody at the end? Well, because of this, this, and this, and this, and everything that was set up from the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
So
It's
so things
crazy,
like
the
that. It's
small
just I love
things.
it. I eat it up.
It's loaded, and it's coming back. I want to say, this next weekend, and it will be playing in the 70 millimeter
Hell yeah.
for the re-release. And it's only coming to those select locations: LA, Irvine, New York, San Francisco, and Indianapolis, like wherever they have a 70 screen. Man, can we get one in Colorado, bro? Like, we desperate, bro. We desperate.
Just got these regular
Wherever there's a
IMAX
70
screens here. Man,
Yep,
I've
wherever
always
there's a
wanted to
70
watch one.
Yeah, same. I gotta make that happen. But yeah, guys, if you're
Yep.
by 70 that's coming next weekend. Check it out again, because man, it is great. Now let's talk about this. This is our last story for the night. We have a little bit of a short stream tonight, but this one, guys, holy crap, we got to talk about Marvel. So the Wall Street Journal came out with an article where essentially they didn't gather too much new like interviews or bites, but they had a whole report about like where Marvel stands right now. And it's a huge reminder because Variety came out with an article, but it's both a reminder and a little bit of new info that came out that Kevin Feige pulled in every direction. So there's a couple of different explanations for the, quote unquote quality dips, the Quantumanias of the bunch, the secret invasions. And a couple of reasons why that is Kevin Feige was pulled in so many directions. They wanted a ton of new content for Disney Plus. So instead of just having it be WandaVision, Loki, and Falcon and Winter Soldier, they wanted so much that Kevin Feige was pulled in all these different directions. So Kevin Feige wasn't even able to give creative direction where he needed to. So that's why there's partially a little bit of what feels like a quality dip. Another point here is that Marvel admitted that it has started to feel like homework. Like Kevin Feige himself has said, like, it is starting to feel like homework. So now they're scaling back to focus on fewer stories. However, they still got to get things out like Falcon and Winter Soldier. Or I'm sorry, Falcon and Winter Soldier. Wow. I'm in Captain America 4. Look at me.
Yeah.
They still got to get
Close
out
enough.
things like Brave New World. But Brave New World was like the final project of that era. They're shifting back now. And the plan now is to have less TV shows, less movies all in the same year, with the TV shows being like extra content. So think X-Men 97, Neighborhood Spider-Man, your friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. That stuff is going to exist over here. And then we can have the movie universe be the main storytelling beacon of this universe.
For sure.
How are we feeling about this? Because I think that it is actually a really good sign that they at least know that things are problematic, because I've heard from certain people like, oh, Marvel, they bought into their own hype, and I don't think so. I think they finally are seeing like through a narrow, like a wide lens here. Actually, they're seeing this is an oversaturation problem. You got people 100%. Doing so much homework.
Yeah, I think that the homework, and not only oversaturation for their own franchise, they kind of, I hate to say this, but they kind of ruined the market for the box office in the past 20 years, because it also helped Disney and Marvel as a whole helped push the business model to being, that opening weekend box office number. We want to make $1 billion in the first weekend. We want to, really, really squeeze every last dollar out of sales from a very short run, relatively. You know what I'm saying? So I think not only have they shot everybody else in the foot, now that's also come back to bite them. And at the end of the day, it's more effective to do quality over quantity. It's more cost efficient. It's more cost effective for sure. And at the end of the day, you have those big, let's say business bottom line factors. And you can also focus on the creative direction of these projects, because once again, everything's cyclical. Look at Sinners. Look at Mickey 17 didn't do crazy numbers, but Mickey 17 still drew people to the box office. It's an original movie. You have last year, or even in the past 5 years, we could say we had an Everything All at Once, which had basically everything, which was wonderful, but it had everything against them, in terms of marketing. They didn't have that much marketing. They barely had distribution. Everything was against their favor, and they came out as Best Picture. They made numbers at the box office because of demand. People at the end of the day have less money to spend at the movie theaters, but more yearning to watch good movies. People want to watch good movies. Why do you think the streamers are constantly, having trouble keeping subscribers? Because subscribers at the end of the day, people are just rewatching stuff from 20 years ago. Back when the industry and the market was different, and you were still able to push out, even on cable television on ABC, people are still watching Lost because it was just that good at that moment. People are still watching the original Marvel movies because at the end of the day, Jon Favreau just pushed out an Iron Man movie. Nobody knew who Iron Man was unless you were an actual Marvel Comics nerd, and Iron Man was a super huge success and birthed this entire franchise. So, it's really just going back to basics, and it's just for their own benefit, and just healing from basically not even pandering to fans, but really pandering just to stockholders.
Mm-hmm. This is a good comment from Tough Luck, who says,
100%.
Glad the Fantastic Four won't require any Disney Plus series or movies to be watched before it. This could help it make $1 billion if more folks go see it. Yeah, attaching people to a new property. Remember, it was like back before Endgame, and back when Endgame was like building up, and then slightly after Endgame, we had split these into different franchises. We're like, okay, we got the Captain America trilogy, we got the Iron Man trilogy, we got the we got to get that feeling.
We had these pockets.
Yeah, we got these pockets,
like little universes.
Oh, and another project that did a great job of being individual and feeling this way was Agatha. I think we're kind of we'd be missing out on Agatha sometime, but because it was so tucked in the background. But I mean, shit, it had an entirely new audience. I mean, it had an entirely un-MCU audience tuning in every single week, biting their nails, really enjoying this movie.
And then having people watch for the first time WandaVision or rewatching WandaVision as a result of Agatha. Because again, and I think when Agatha came out, it's its niche, it's its corner. We don't have to make everything, we can't please everybody. It's just really, really hard to do. And I think the best thing you can do is, I don't know, that's going to be interesting. Because at the very least, Agatha already had her introduction in WandaVision, and WandaVision's success helped Agatha. We can't deny that either.
Which is crazy to think. Most people were like, really? We don't need no Agatha show, bro. I mean, I'm going to be honest.
I was one of those people.
Yeah, I was like, do we really need an Agatha show?
I was like, do we really need it? And I was like, oh, wow, we actually told a very, very different story. And what a powerful story. Again, it was so queer, it was so feminine, and it was just so, the cast was stacked as well. So Jack Schaefer, I think we've said it before, and I'll say it again, Jack Schaefer is one of those what I hope to be a driving creative force in Marvel, and I think she should be taken very seriously.
Yeah, they really fumbled the bag on the Vision stuff because I'm like, you should put that in her hands, have her connect all that together. Tyler brings up a great point. Ironheart next month, no trailers, posters, anything. So my thing about Ironheart is that was in that last batch.
Yeah, that's DOA.
So like, it's dead, bruh. Like they dropping all 6 episodes. It's coming out, and it's like, hey, yeah, see you guys in the theater for Fantastic Four. Like,
yeah. Anyways,
yep, that's exactly how Marvel feels. Yeah. Anyways. Like they literally shot this.
It's time to move on.
This has been done years ago.
That's
crazy.
Feeling
Wonder Man will surprise many people in the same way Agatha did. This is from Tough Luck. It could. I mean, hey, never know. What's unfortunate is I think Miss Marvel came too late. I think if that would have came on the heels of WandaVision, it would have been smoking hot. Unfortunately,
and Miss Marvel was so great. Like, right. I really, really enjoyed Miss Marvel. I really liked the Marvels. I think Kamala Khan is also one of the big driving forces for the franchise moving forward.
Yes.
She is phenomenal. She's charismatic. She is everything that Tony Stark was, you know?
Everything. I think, honestly, they're missing out on building up that corner. Because this could be the Young Avengers. But by now, we might as well call them champions or whatever. This team of younger heroes, man, that would have been cool to build them up in the background, have Kamala, over here with them and building the team. And then, I mean, Agatha could directly lead into him joining the team. Come on, Marvel, you got some characters y'all can work with, man. You got some good stuff.
And they're good characters and people like them. And what's so... like it's such a really fortunate circumstance, you know, I guess I could say, because not only are they good characters, they're good actors, they're very young. So you, Marvel, who wants to be a money-making machine at the same time, and you still have a bottom line, you can make another Tom Holland out of these actors and these characters. You can really, really, you know, stretch out the capacity of these young Avengers. I think the only weak link here in terms of like acting and I guess audience impact is America Chavez. And even then, you know, you can still kind of make that work. You can still make that work. We all know how I feel.
Chavez now.
We all know how I feel about America Chavez, but you know, and even I'm saying we can make it work. If you have her, you know, with you got Kate Bishop with Haley Steinfeld, you have Iman, oh my god, I forgot her last name.
Iman Vellani
as Kamala Khan. You have Joe Locke as Wiccan. You know, you have good actors.
There's a team there.
That's a roster. That's a team. That's why I don't want to spoil Thunderbolts, but I'm like, there was a little thing at the end. I was like, I know who that squad is. I know my girl Kamala is in that squad.
I'm gonna give them the dub. I think champions is what that name gonna be. Them young,
whatever
young
it may be.
Go with the champions.
I think they're in the mix. I don't think they're a group that we should sleep on. And I genuinely think the Russo brothers might tap into that.
I think the Young Avengers or champions, whoever, them, Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four, Cap and Falcon, and then we probably ain't gonna see Eternals, y'all. Go ahead and squash that. But X-Men, the original X-Men team, they're all gonna unite and fight Dr. Doom. Like I can't wait to see that. And I know people feel like, you know, they haven't been built up, but Fantastic Four, we about to get their movie. Thunderbolts, we just got theirs. We had some building up with Wakanda Forever. I mean, I know it's not ideal, but I do think some of the major stuff did throw a wrench in the whole King Dynasty and original plan. So that was also detailed in the article that they had tried, you know.
Oh yeah, that definitely doesn't exist in a vacuum.
Yeah. And they're not gonna take him back. So the Kang people who supporting Kang still, that's gone.
No,
Tyler said they're bringing Xochitl Gomez to every MCU
They're
premiere.
just using her as an influencer, which is so, I don't know.
Same with
My
Shang-Chi.
beef is not with her. Exactly. The same with Shang-Chi, the same with Social Code. It's like my beef is not with her. I don't think she's the greatest actress, but she's also very young. My beef is just how her character was handled. I don't think her character was handled well at all.
Yeah. I think what they wanted to do with America Chavez was not the best idea. Like they were kind of like, oh, this is like the pre-America Chavez, and then we're gonna make her like into America Chavez like down the line. And I'm like, nah, like that's not really.
I wouldn't be surprised if she gets recast, dude, or America Chavez just gets redone or something. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not gonna lie because I don't know. I'm just saying. Maybe not. Maybe they won't recycle, but I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, look what they did with oh my god, Ant-Man's kid.
Cassie, yeah. Well, that was scheduling issues, but I got bad news for you. America Chavez is in another, like, she's popped up in like a scene. I know this is like super niche and super, but it's like it was like a scene for a Disney cruise. Her, Dominic Thorne, and Iman Vellani, and the girl who plays Cassie Lang.
Oh my god,
they were all like together on a little scene. So I'm like, I think she's here to stay, but I understand why that character is not liked. I totally get it. I kind of had that same conflict. There's been that same sort of conflict with Green Lantern. So I think I know where you're coming from with that.
Yeah.
My thing about Sochi is I think she was dealt a bad hand. So I'm like, we'll see what happens in Doomsday. Yeah, I just think she was dealt such a bad hand, but oh Lord. Multiverse of Madness, the more I rewatch it, that's like the only thing I don't like. Because I'm like, yo, I love the visuals in this movie. I love the Wanda stuff. I love the strange stuff. America Chavez, why they gotta make her like the damsel in distress over here? I was just like, no, that don't work for me, man. That ain't America Chavez in the comics.
And it's so tonally different from the rest of the movie. It just doesn't, really doesn't fit in. I don't understand why they handled it that way. I don't understand why she was cast so young, because there are comic runs of America Chavez where she's at least, 17, 18. She's just a little bit older. Right.
So I think what they wanted to do is they tried to make her like an allegory of if Doctor Strange was like a father figure. So it was kind of like, oh,
they tried to do the same thing with Thor: Love and Thunder, and it was they try to turn all the old Avengers, let's say, into parents, and I don't know.
I'm like, man, when they had Thor running out with the daughter, I was like, dog, I don't know about this babysitting bullshit. I'm gonna keep it real. I don't know about the babysitting.
It was lame. It's it's fun to see in a cartoon, in an animation,
right?
For sure, but like, I don't know, it just really didn't fit into the overarching story for these characters, for me at least. Like, I feel like we needed an entire other phase for me to be like picturing these people as parents or in like parental figure roles.
Absolutely agree. But y'all, we usually have our third co-host here, Loretto. He will be back next week. And thank you guys so much for joining us this week to talk latest movie news. Come on back next week at the same time, same place here on Geekly Goods. But Eli, let the people know where they can find you and what you got coming up on your platforms.
Oh my gosh, you can find me at Captain Melendez on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. You can also find me and my wonderful colleagues over on the Puerto Rico Critics Association and the PRCA podcast, which is available everywhere you can consume podcasts. You can also follow us at PR Critics on Twitter and Instagram.
Definitely be sure to follow them, guys. They've got great projects on the edge here coming out soon. We've got plenty more movies to cover, y'all. So definitely be sure to tune in over at the PR Film Critics. And if you're new to this channel, come on back at the same time, same place, guys. Every single Sunday, we do 6 p.m. PT, 7 p.m. MT, 8 p.m. CT, and 9 p.m. ET. I don't know how I know all of that like that, but it's crazy. But y'all come on back next week. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, y'all. We talk MCU news, movie news, Netflix news. Hell, Netflix. We've been covering a lot of Netflix on the channel. Come on back, y'all, because we got a lot coming up between Thunderbolts this week. Sinners continue its re-release. We've got Fantastic Four around the corner, Jurassic World around the corner, and we definitely are going to be talking very soon about the craziness that will be July in the box office. Y'all come on back, and we'll see you next time on Geekly Goods.